It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. The show is called The Legends. I want to thank everybody all over the world, especially the UK. You guys are really giving me a lot of love. South Africa, I love you. Italy, come on with it, okay? I love everyone that's actually, giving me love on my show, and I'm giving it back to you guys. And the House of the Legends, this lady's incredible. I mean, she's an author, she writes music, she's a voice coach, and she does a lot of things. And in the House of the Legends, I give you Jaci Jones. Hey, Jaci.
Hi,
How
Ty.
are you today?
How are you? I'm good.
I'm quite well.
So one thing I will say, I'm not a voice coach.
Okay.
I am a coach for manuscripts.
Okay.
So people writing books, I was like, I am very much a student
Right.
of voice, so not a coach.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's talk about the beginning for you. Let's take it back years and years.
Okay.
Where were you based at, growing up, and how was your childhood growing up?
Yeah, I grew up in Brooklyn. I was born in New Hampshire, and my parents divorced, and I moved to Brooklyn, and it was a hard beginning, but my mother always made it seem like it was easy, it was fun, And in terms of music, I remember her bringing home Broadway cast albums.
Okay.
And I would sing along with the albums, and she would bring home books, I could always have books, and I had like a floor-to-ceiling bookshelf that she had built, and, so lots of art, lots of literature, always. I remember one day she brought home a Wallensack reel-to-reel.
Wow.
And it was all over, because I would just record myself singing and listen back and try to do better and try to mimic, what I was hearing. And it was just a beautiful time,
Yeah. So that was a part of your recreation growing up.
Yeah.
And did you feel that it was actually going to enhance you as far as your adulthood?
I didn't. It was like one of those things that I just did.
Right.
I took piano lessons. It was something that I did. I studied music in school. I wrote poems and stories. But I never thought that I would be, pursuing any of that professionally.
Okay.
It was...
So as being an author,
Yes.
you wrote many books, and can you tell the viewers some of the name of the books that you've actually acquired?
So I have 4 collections of poetry.
Okay.
My first one was Gravity USA. And the second one was Last Scene. And that was about missing children, Black women and children who had gone missing over the years.
Right.
And then the third book that I wrote was called What Water Knows.
Wow.
And, excuse me.
Okay.
And that was, about our relationship with water,
Wow, that's very rare.
Yeah.
So how did you acquire the imagination for these themes as far as your production of writing?
I grew up as an only child.
Okay.
I was raised as an only child by my mother. And it was, just how I spent my time. It was...
Okay. No brother, no sister, so
Right.
just me and,
me
hey, I
and the
acquired my own
page,
time.
Yeah.
So from there, where did it take you? You developed so many talents in your lifetime, and how did you feel about just saying to yourself, well, I do this, so now I want to get into this, and broaden the challenge of your life?
It really wasn't like that,
Really?
It's like I had a piano, and I have this really vivid memory
Okay.
of sitting at the piano on DeKalb Avenue in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And the window was raised, and I would just play the piano and try to, pick out chords and add some melodies. And I would sing, and the window was open, and I would turn around, and there were people standing across the street looking into my window. And I said, oh my gosh, there are people. There are people, and they're listening. And,
Right.
how can I get better so it would make a good experience for them, and I can communicate what I want to communicate. So it was never about like trying to make it or trying to do it, or it's just trying to get better. That's all I'm trying to do, is trying to get better with everything that I do.
Okay. And you have advanced since then, I'm sure. So how did it make you feel that you actually conquered that type of craft?
That's
Or
beautiful. I don't feel like I've conquered
Really?
at all. No.
So you feel like there's still ways of being better?
Absolutely. I am a student.
That's incredible.
I am a student. It's like every time I go into the studio, the thing that I say is, okay, what do I want to learn next?
Right.
What is it that I want to learn from this experience? It's like, okay, I want to learn how to attempt 3 and 4 part harmonies on my own. How can I do that? How can I bring that to fruition, with what I hear and what I don't hear?
Right.
And how can I learn how to, put something out on Spotify or streaming services?
Right.
How can I learn how to do that? How can I protect the work? So it's always about what is it that I want to learn,
Okay.
and what is it that I want to get better at.
Okay.
So
have you learned from those things as far as putting them out there, as far as communication, like Spotify, iTunes, and things of that nature? I'm sure you did your homework.
I'm getting better. Yeah. I made some mistakes early on.
Well,
I'm
we
like,
have to. We have
we're not
to.
going to do that again. But-
It's very funny because me growing up and actually encountering music, I'm a classical trained pianist since I was young. And I had the type of teacher that was like, she was very aggressive. Bing, 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 bing. I still got the knuckles, the
we
scars
might
on
have
my
had the
hand.
same teacher.
Miss Durant.
No.
Her name was Miss Durant. She was a very old lady, but she was very, very, very receptive. But if you made a mistake, she would conk you
Yeah.
and
Oof.
stuff like that. And every year she did, me and my sister would do an actual concert at the Academy of Music, because she sponsored it and stuff. And from there, man, it just took me to a whole different thing than music. But back to you. And before we do that, Russell, we're giving you a shout out, man. Sorry you couldn't be here, man, but she's here. We're going to talk about certain things that you have done that's very fantastic, in a lifetime. Because I've done some actual research on you, some events that you've actually, attended and things of that nature. Let's talk about some of that, that you've actually went to and why you went to them.
So can you be more specific? Like what?
I've seen the events
Events.
that you went to where you took pictures at very good major events and things of that nature. And then when you see pictures like that, it tells a whole lot about a person. So how did you feel actually being at these events, and were you actually corresponded with them in a sense?
Yeah. It's like I love going to live concerts.
Okay.
And when I'm there, I feel like I'm learning from the performers.
Right.
It's always like, it's like a classroom. It's like being in there and feeling how the music moves me.
Right.
It's like, how can I apply that lesson to what I'm doing?
Right.
I'm enjoying this, but I'm being transported. It's like, how can I apply that to what I do next, So being there, meeting the artists, shaking hands and, thanking them for what they're giving out is very beautiful, and I love doing that.
Okay.
I love doing that.
So let's talk about your impairment. We discussed it earlier, and you said it was okay for us to really talk about it. So you want to tell the viewers about that?
So when I was 10, I contracted mumps, and it left me deaf in my right ear and about 50% in my left ear.
Okay.
And it's a nerve damage thing. So I noticed that after that, I would either sing like flat or sharp, depending on how my head was turned. And it's like movement would yield different kinds of notes.
Right.
So I got very, very shy, and it's like I still had this desire to sing and to learn more about the art of singing.
Right.
But I recognized my own limitations, and I
Right.
got really shy about trying to do something in public. And I realized that I'd been singing in choirs and choruses, as a child, but it was different after that. And once I went into the studio for the first time, it was almost like I could hear myself again, but it was
On a different frequency.
yeah, it was
Okay.
different. It was
Right.
different, but it was something that I said, okay, I think I might be able to manage this and do something with this. So
And what did you come up with?
I just keep trying.
Okay.
I just keep trying,
Right.
So being in the studio, and now the technology is such that, they can pan from one ear to the other. I'm working with a producer right now, Treviso Milner,
Okay.
who is very, very adept at working with, my impairment and helping me to hear, making sure that I can
So that's
hear.
that's a form of chemistry in a sense. Yeah.
The music, and I could hear myself, and now it's even getting more layered, because now I'm dealing with trying to understand the art of background vocals.
Right.
So that's another level altogether.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So before we get into your current track, let's talk about the track that you and Russell did.
So that was kind of fun.
Okay.
That was a whole lot of fun. It was very scary.
I didn't mean to say that, Leroy. I'm sorry.
So last summer, summer of 2024, I was having a conversation with Russell, and I just said, just a throwaway line. I said, before I die, because we all getting up there,
Right,
before
right.
I die, I would love to sing a duet with you. And he did not miss a beat. He's like, let's do it.
Russell's that type of guy, though. He is,
And I was like, well, wait a minute. I was just, I was talking about one day. And he's like, let's
Okay.
do it. And, we spent time trying to figure out what song to do, and then, working and trying to figure out an arrangement, and, all of it, getting permissions,
Right,
I made sure that, we had, the proper permissions and the compulsory license, and everything was on the up and up. I
Right.
drafted contracts, And
See, you learned a lot. Look at you. You're talking about it. You're talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, looking back now, we talked about it. Russell and I talked about it. I was like,
Right.
if I did this again, I would do this differently or that differently. And he's like,
Right.
yeah, I could see that. And, it was like a postmortem of what did we learn from doing that?
Right.
And how could we improve doing it going forward? So that's always like what I want to do, what I strive to do. I would love to do another one with him, because I learned so much during that process.
Right,
It's like,
yeah. And it didn't stagnate you we go through a stagnation process when we're doing something new. But once it's completed, it's like second nature again. For me.
I don't know if it's going to be second nature. I think
don't think so?
each time it's going to be different for me.
Oh,
and
really?
it's going to be
Okay.
its own
Well,
challenge.
it's challenging for you
Yeah.
because of your impairment and things of that nature, but it's still fun.
Yeah, it's always fun, but it's like, oh, it's daunting. It's like, what was I thinking? I should have said that to him like 4 years from now, when I thought I was a little bit more
Right.
ready. But
And he's that type of guy, man. I love Russell because he's so receptive and he's very friendly, very humble dude. I'm not trying to say anything against you and Stuart or Leroy. Let's get that straight, because I know they come after me. You know what I mean? But
Yes.
he's very charming, man, for a dude, you know. So let's talk about, tell the viewers about the new track that you have out, and how did you come about that?
So that's interesting.
Okay.
It's like I ran across this box of cassettes. I was cleaning out at my former house, and I saw this song, and I was like, ooh, I think I remember this song, and I, listened to it, and I was like, wow, I wrote this song like decades ago, maybe 70s, 80s. I don't remember exactly when, but it's an old song.
Okay.
And I said, I would love to like develop it. I would love to, see what I could do with it now, because that's the genre of music that I
Right,
really
right.
gravitate toward. Is like Phyllis Hyman, Angela Bofield.
Yeah, it has that type of vibe to
know.
it. It really does, yeah.
So I said, Treviso, is that something that, we could work on? And he's like, let's do it.
And
So
you
that's
guys
how that came
y'all
about.
came up with that.
Yeah.
And it's a very nice song, man. I've listened to it twice, and I'm like, I got that vibe like Angela Bofield and, that type of vibe, Philip Hyman and, Women of the Past.
Yeah.
That really gave great energy.
Legends.
Very much.
Yes, yes.
If they was alive, I'd love to have them on my show. That would be so
Yes.
surreal. As far as the track itself, did you write most of the lyrics to it, or?
I wrote all the lyrics, and I
Okay.
wrote the melody, right? The orchestrations and the arrangement is Travis Milner's.
Okay.
But I wrote the music and the lyrics, yeah.
Great, man.
Yeah.
So you're always trying to get better. You're
I
always trying to
am.
get better.
I am.
So, I mean, beyond that, what's coming next in your life?
So I just finished a workshop called the Creative Reset, and I have been doing it a couple of times a year. And this time I encourage my participants to pick an audacious goal,
Okay.
something that is like impossible to complete, and do it, right? And I said, I'm gonna do it along with you. So I picked out another song from that box of cassettes,
Right.
and I said, okay, I'm gonna do this song during the month of July.
Okay.
So that should be finished before
Okay.
the month's out.
Are
That's
you-
like a few days from now.
Right.
but
Are you planning to do an EP with your songs? I think you should.
I hope so.
I mean, because
Yeah.
it's so collective, what you're doing,
Yeah.
different phrases and different elements of what you're actually portraying as far as what you're putting down.
Yeah, I can see the development. I could see the thread from the beginning. So
Okay.
I think that might be, fun to put out there and have people say, "Oh, there's a trajectory,"
Okay.
It's like I would do it.
So far, how's the song? How's it doing? I mean, have you got any feedback about it yet?
I haven't been paying a lot of attention
Okay.
to how it's doing. I got a report from Spotify.
Okay.
And I was a little surprised at the number. I was like, "Ooh, I didn't know that many people had listened to it."
Right. Right.
But I'm really focused on what I'm doing now and moving forward. So
Okay. Would you be interested in doing like another genre of something like a movie, acting, or something like that?
I have done acting
So
before.
let's talk about that. Come on, Jackie, don't hold back on me.
I have worked as a background actor for
Okay.
a while. I was on The Good Wife. I did a bunch of episodes on The Good Wife
Okay.
back in the day. Nurse Jaci, I was on that. I was on, I can't even think. There was about 30 some shows that I did.
Wow.
And that was a long time ago though. That was maybe 10 years ago.
Really? Is
yeah.
it still rerunning now, or is it are they still playing them?
Maybe I don't. I mean, you might see me like Law and Order. You might see me
Okay.
in The Jury, or you might see me as a stenographer. That kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were doing like sit-ins, things of that nature.
Yeah,
I know.
I
I know.
was
I know that
background.
Russell
Yeah.
does that too.
Yeah.
He does a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
and
it can be a lot of fun.
okay.
You know.
So as far as being in an actual movie, let's say, for instance, Jackie like one of your books, for instance, and a producer picked up one of your books right now and said, well, Jackie, we'd like to really turn this into something that's really surreal. How would you feel about that?
We could have a conversation. Have
Well-
your people call my people.
Well, you know what, when you get that $1 million check, don't forget 10%, a little bit,
It would be fun, right? It would be so fun.
What people that actually want to get into what you're getting into right now, as far as the different hats that you actually wear, what would you actually tell them?
Do it. Just do it. It's not the same as it was years ago, where we had all these gatekeepers and the record companies and the publishers keeping you from doing things.
Right.
We're at a place now where you can take control of your own knowledge and your
Right.
own learning and just do the thing that you want to do. Just get out there and do it. And I challenge myself every day to put myself out there and put things out there. But that's a part of the growth too. For
Right.
me, some other people might say, I just want to be out there, but that's not where I'm coming from at all. I just want to be able to do the best that I can and do better next time and have the opportunity
Right.
to do it again.
Okay.
That's big for me.
So your books are then audio form as well as just as hardbacks?
My books are not audio, but I
like
have
that they
the
were.
rights to
That's why I
them.
must have misread that in a sense.
Yeah. I don't have audiobooks. That's
Okay.
interesting. Maybe that's the next thing for me too.
Okay, well maybe I just projected something. I
Yeah.
thought I read that somewhere along the line. Forgive
Yeah.
me.
No,
I mean,
no.
I read up a bios about people, and sometimes things are just misprinted, I might say.
But I just take that as a word, It's
Okay.
like, thank you.
Well, where do you want to go from here? I mean, where do you see yourself at least? I mean, we live day by day, but if you had to really project a picture of where you want to be at least 5 years from now, where would you want to be?
I love my life.
Okay.
I love my life. I love being surrounded by my family and my people.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to wake up in the morning and be healthy and be happy, not have to worry about, money, paying bills. I want to be able to go to the studio in the afternoon and record and come home and relax and write and and it sounds very much like my current life.
Right,
So
right.
I just want to keep on doing what I'm doing.
Well, it sounds so serene, in a sense.
I want to be serene. At this
I've
point in
asked people a lot of
life.
questions like that, and it's like they really don't know, in a sense. They project, but they really don't know. And coming from you, I feel that the authenticity of where you really want to be at,
Yeah.
things of that. Are you starting another book right now?
I'm working on a book called The Creative Reset Blueprint,
Okay.
which is a textbook that will accompany my workshop
Right.
for people who want to get into enhancing their creative arts. I'm also working on revising a couple of poetry manuscripts and rethinking them now that time has passed,
Right.
and I get to rewrite the ending, So
Okay.
I'm happy about that.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, Jackie has a new track out, and we're actually going to play it for you guys. And at the end of the show, she's going to read you. Well, actually, she's going to put some poetry down for you guys, and you guys support her, and listen to what she has to say. And this has been another T-Lo video production. Thank you, Jackie, for being
Thank
a part
you
of
so
my show.
much.
Come again.
I would love to.
You
I would
have
love
an
to.
extended invitation on my show. Thank you, Russell.
Thank you, Russell.
And thank you for being so informative to the the viewers.
Thank you.
And this has been another T-Love video production, and you guys stay tuned for another episode.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house.
I needed to talk to you. So tell me what's up, what's new. There's a reason why I called you. A perfectly good reason or two. Ooh.
Hi, so the title of this poem is Before. He said, "Why did you wait so long?" And I thought about the decades past, how we'd gone from dime-sized tokens to tap and go, from early adults to early bedtimes, now ever so grateful for an afternoon shared, a sunset. He remembers so many more slights on my behalf. When I look into his eyes, there is a halo of fear surrounding his hope. What did I do to him to puncture his trust, to give him pause, to add me to the dreaded list of those who came before? Before now feels so long ago. Before I knew my want of him. Before, when indifference held fast. We are older now and know what we crave, know what we need. The kindest truth, salted pistachios, an R&B playlist, a glass for the wine, a platter of mid-joint wings. In between, we lived a life or two. Marriages, babies, careers, death, separations, successes, death, divorce, illness, glitz, grandbabies, creation, death. We speak of the radiant joys. We ooze out so much pain. No part of me wants to know what I said to him, what words passed my lips, what I did or did not do. Our pain is our past. I have learned to pause, to hold him before and after I say a thing. I have learned to breathe the most precious air between us.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.